I haven't recorded anything in a while, and there's a reason for that. The whole purpose of making these videos in the first place was just to sort of elucidate the process of my deck as I climbed and sort of taking what Cruel Tech had, which I just net decked mercilessly, but then trying to make it my own, and it just helped to have some sort of recording of me thinking out loud about why I was making the changes I was making, tweaks I was making. There were certain decks that I was facing that this deck was struggling to deal with. My overall impression of sort of yellow green overall, yellow green control in particular, just to help me sort of work through that process. And if the deck went right, maybe I'd be able to work out sort of why it was, and if it really went off the rails, I could also sort of look back and see when it started going wrong. But then I got to Mithril, and I'm pretty happy with Mithril this season. It was my first season of Mythgard. I mean, the record isn't really representative because, of course, that was from bronze upwards, so the record would be good. But yeah, my first season, I think you get a medal at the end. So, first medal started January, so I've been playing for a month and a half. I'm quite happy with that. So I stopped making the videos because it was all about my deck and my little experiments, trying them out. 10, 20, 30 games. Maybe this worked, maybe that didn't. Does laser grid work? Right now, I'm sort of fiddling with yellow, green, orange, but honestly, it's just a variation of, I suppose you could say, Kitsune's yellow, green, orange. He has lamp. I don't own lamp, so I've got vigor in there instead. But I'm mostly just playing casuals and enjoying other colours. I realised that things were getting a bit too skewed. I had played 150 hours of yellow green and very little else. So, I mean, this says trial one. I've already written more Duskwing, but yeah. So I was trying red green. I've seen a lot of it. I think it's very well balanced. I also tried Erebez, Necro, Aggro. I mean, you just wrote an article on it, so that's not surprising. Min Maxer. I've slowly worked through them all. Tempest is way too expensive. Heaven and Hades, I'll hate myself for playing it. Hopefully the expansion will make it less powerful, but if it doesn't, I'm probably going to have to learn it. If nothing else, I'm going to have to play it so I at least understand how it works and know how to play against it, right? So there was no need to make any videos. But now that we're getting to the end of the season, we've got 2 weeks left to go, I think. Yeah, 1st of April. So we've got 2 weeks left to go. And before the expansion comes in, before the patch comes in and cards change and we've got more cards, I've thought it might be useful if I just sort of gave like a meta snapshot of the colours and my opinion of the colours as they are now. Originally, I was just going to do it for yellow green because honestly, those are the only colours that I feel, like I have any real right to grade. I don't really know enough about the other colours, but I mean, this is a selfish process, right? I'm talking to myself just about what I think is successful, why it's successful. So it's going to be pretty bad, but I'm going to go through all the colours, including the ones that I really don't have that much experience with. Because if nothing else, I can look back at purple and go, right, well, I knew barely anything about purple. That's not good enough. Maybe for the new season, I should actually actively be playing more purple. Of course, the reason is that, I don't have any purple mythics, but maybe I'll pick up some Kish decks and we'll see what happens. I've been dying to play some Kish decks for a while anyway, so hopefully I'll get more purple mythics. This is basically just an introduction to explain why I'm doing this. I'm going to just do a video for each colour, go through the cards, give my overall impressions, and hopefully afterwards this will just be a good sort of, how do you describe it, picture of, well, I guess so, of exactly what the meta looks like right now and what is good and what is bad. I at least know what's good and what's bad, even if I don't understand perfectly exactly what makes it good or bad. But hopefully through this process, I might understand that process just a little bit more.